I love how I'm going to start talking about the intro video, even though no one's ever going to see it unless they go to my Instagram and view it because I'm too lazy to do the video feed right now. But yeah, this is Lucretia Lyon, guys. Fun fact about some of the stuff in this little intro video. Herman Rorschach was a hottie. You know, that's the reason I put his picture at the end there. It's like, talk about Brad Pitt. I would see some stuff in those ink blots about him.
That's what Rorschach looks like?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that Brad Pitt looking fellow towards the end.
Yeah. The hot mature male?
Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
I know.
I would be like, he'd be like, what ink blots do you see? I'm like, whatever ones get me to come back, baby.
It's like whatever you want me to see.
Yeah. All of it. I see our future together.
All right. See, you know just how to talk to a man. So what is your name and what do you do, sir?
My name is Josh Florag, and I am a stand-up comedian based out of LA. I also eat a lot of cheeseburgers.
What's your sign?
My sign, Colby Jack.
I was unaware of that horoscope, but
I'm a Capricorn, which means nothing.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's just like I always say that jokingly, and I do have a friend who is like a legit astrologer. I'm not going to shit on all of it, but like 90% of the women I've met, and of all different ages, like that's what they really focus on and rule their life by. And I'm just like, but like, it doesn't. It's like when you were born. I mean, this is what's wrong. You don't have ownership and you don't have like agency in your own life if you just follow the signs, man. And not like the Tesla signs, the band.
Not the band.
The company. Yeah. Wasn't it Tesla that did the song Signs?
Yeah. Signs everywhere.
Signs. Fucking up the scenery, make my mind. Yeah.
Written by Elon Musk, everybody. Written by Elon Musk.
Facts. But oh god, we were talking before we got on mic here about like what we've been doing during the pandemic, and I thought I'd share a funny story a little bit. But before I do, anything new with you, Josh, that you want to share?
I've been working out, so probably gonna start an OnlyFans here real soon. That's
all right.
That's where I'm at. I'm about 7 pounds from just, letting old guys pay a monthly subscription to see my pasty white body in oddly sexual positions. And then also climbing trees. I've really mapped out what my OnlyFans is going to be. It's going to be 50-50 sex stuff and then climbing trees in my neighborhood of Los Angeles.
At least it's got some integrity, because that's the thing. Is like
it has something for everybody. If you're like, I don't want to watch a 34-year-old man who looks like a 19-year-old boy who's never seen the sun naked, but I'd love to see that climb a tree. You're still in 50% of the videos.
Well, and that's sort of the thing, is you got to give a little something for everybody, especially when you're charging, like, what is it with OnlyFans, like a monthly subscription?
Yeah.
Like, or something. I love that it's not like I haven't looked into this, as we all have. It's like, how much? It's like, okay, but how naked do I have to get? And technically, because I was like, it's not technically porn. It's just suggested that if you want to make money, you better be naked. Like,
how what I got into started? You know how OnlyFans started? It started just to combat Cameo. It started as
and then it just immediately went to porn.
It like started all as a thing for like regular celebrities, like comedians like me and you, or musicians. And then they were like,
that's when
John Mayer. John Mayer could be like, hey, do you want to see what it takes to write a song? Subscribe to my OnlyFans and I'll show you how I recorded my album. And then people were like, fuck that. I'm going to start beating off on camera. People were like, screw watching musicians write music. I want to watch people who are my friends who are laid off jerk off on camera.
Well, see, this is what I love about our society, is that's what we do to everything. Because let's face it, the internet is all just essentially porn. All social media, it's porn. Tinder, any of dating apps, porn. OnlyFans, it can only go no other way.
Yeah. How much do you think the sex toy industry has thrived in this pandemic?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say that they were probably the number one industry besides the toilet paper one, because as we saw, I mean, those were literally coming off the shelves. But
Yeah.
like distant, second is definitely the sex toy industry.
Things you can put inside yourself.
Yeah. I mean, around here in Texas, there's all these signs that say like "Stop Vegetable Abuse." It's been a thing for years for one of the sex shops. Like I think it's Sarah's Secret, but could be any of them. There's so many, but it's funny because it's like, yeah, zucchini sales were up, cucumbers, like I'm just going to the dirty place here, but we opened it up. But on a lighter note, my brother had sent a OnlyFans type joke earlier. He was like, I'm going to open up a tanning parlor called OnlyTans, and 30% off the profits go up to a membership to fight skin cancer, the SPF 30 fund. So, he likes to give back.
This is a solid business idea. If this was Shark Tank, I'm investing. You guys are in Texas. Get Cubes on the phone.
Yeah, because I did used to watch his kids at Equinox, and I know his brother. He's the one who talked me out of going to law school. Brian Cuban. Yeah,
Brian Cuban was like, "Don't go to law school. It's just
because he was a lawyer, and he's written a lot of books. Like he does motivation. He had a real series telling this a lovely story, and it starts breaking up there. But
there you go.
But there we go.
Brian Cuban.
All right.
Listening. So the Cubans are listening. That's what it is. They were like, no, you're not talking about cubes in Texas.
They were like, no, I guess not. But speaking of brothers, that was my little brother who always, is there with the quips. A lot of the jokes I write are things he said, and it's too big of a puss to put on Twitter because he has a normal job. Which is still the most shocking thing about us is like we don't have a criminal record, and he's the one who can stay employed.
My sister just became a doctor, so I know all about having a relative. It was good that like she graduated medical school because now I never have to make my mom proud. Me and my brother,
like she already did.
We're off the hook. What am I going to do? Go to space? That's the only way.
Well, if you had a billionaire budget, you could go to space. I know everyone talks shit about this, but I think it's hilariously adorable, and exactly what I hoped for in the future is that all the world's billionaires would just be fighting to go to space like children. Like, I get we've got a lot of problems, like obviously, but at least this is sort of an escape for them and for us, because it reminds me of every comic book, every Simpsons episode, like this is what I expected for the future, and at least one thing could seem like normal.
Ain't this how we got Dr. Doom?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he couldn't go up with the Fantastic Four, and he's like, "Fine, I'll go up on my own." And then he turned into a supervillain. One of them for sure got powers, and we'll see about it soon. Yeah.
We can only hope it's like Richard Branson.
Yeah,
he to me, him and Elon Musk, because Elon, I'm not gonna shit on him. I actually find him infinitely entertaining. But he's a little off. He's got, as you said, a high functioning autism, I believe, like Asperger's syndrome. But with Richard Branson, you're like, nah, that's just the guy you want to party with. And where is Cuban's rocket? Or Jerry Jones? Like maybe we do a Texas sports one.
That would be cool. It has all the logos on the side of it.
Yeah, because the Stars and the Mavs share a lot of stuff, but the Cowboys, Jerry doesn't share. So it'd really have to be like a Tom Gallardi, but he's Canadian, and no one knows who that is. They've all stopped listening because I mentioned something about hockey.
Did I ever tell you this crazy story I heard from a guy who helped build AT&T Stadium about Jerry Jones?
No, but I used to work there for Jerry, technically. So I can't wait to hear it. And
have you heard about his marble countertops in his suite?
Oh yes.
He wanted these specific marble countertops from a specific marble maker in Italy, and the guy's like, "I'm backed up for 3 years," and he's like, "I will pay whatever." And the guy's like, "We're the most expensive marble company. Money is not the issue." And then Jerry was like, "Fine, go to hell," and he bought the company, put his countertops in, rushed himself to the front, and then sold the company for a profit, paying for the countertops.
Yeah, and one of the elevators is also marble. So, like, one of the things when you work for Jerry in Jerry World, as we always called it until we legally had to call it AT&T Stadium. For the love of God, call it AT&T Stadium. They paid $1 billion for it. If you're on the promotions team for the Dallas Cowboys, they say that. And if you ever bring a rolling bag in that elevator, you are immediately fired because that is a marble fucking elevator. So yes, I know about the marbles.
Yeah, the guy told me he's like, yeah, I was an installer, and Jerry was like, you have to get me this, and I'm like, we can't. And he's like, I'll pay her, and they're like, we can't. And he's like, then buy the company. It's like
Jerry gets what Jerry wants.
It's the coolest billionaire thing. And you know what? Here's the deal. People are like, oh, he could stop world hunger. But part of you kind of has to admire it. Like, no matter how like liberal or how much you want to help people, you're like, it is kind of cool that he was like, no, I'm going to just buy the company.
Yeah, like, and
I'm all for feeding poor people, and like
he fed me every game. So like, he did feed the hungry guys, and like we had a big promotions team. He fed us all. He feeds everybody in that stadium who works in there. Like, you know what? And on Thanksgiving, we had a full-on Thanksgiving feast. Like, you know, and for all what people want to say about Jerry is he does take care of his people. He is a loyal guy. And like he controls everything in there. And wherever you want to think about that, that's pretty fantastic. Because I remember, and I'm not going to say the client, but there was a promotion and we were there to do it because we did the in-game like games with people. Like you pull them up and just so you guys know, well, no, I'll probably be slapped or murdered for saying something. But yeah, so yeah, we controlled a little bit of that. But Jerry looks at everything and he's like, I don't like the way that looks. We're not doing that promo. We're going to lose like $20,000 or whatever it was because of the sponsor. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. We're not doing it this game.
That's
and
cool,
it was
though.
like Jerry says no, nix it. And it was like, yeah.
He wants to keep some fan integrity.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
I mean, they're never going to win the Super Bowl, but that's cool.
I know. My brother, like, he goes into it all the time about how we could never win a Super Bowl with Jerry, but we argue about, like, my respect of Jerry, of working for him, like, and all that all the time. But it's like, yeah, his control is probably what keeps us from getting certain things. But, you know, we could do it. You know, we got to keep the hope alive.
Yeah. I mean, teams have done it who have worse owners, so it could happen. Yeah. Dak Prescott could come back from the surgery and be a new man.
You know, and you couldn't even say it without laughing.
No.
Like, yeah, I mean,
come from a place where Kirk Cousins is their quarterback.
You know, yeah, that's true. You're a Vikings fan. You've had it way worse.
The guy who's good for 4 out of 6 games. He won't tell you which 2 he's bad at, but it'll show up.
Oh, and I kind of hoped. Because I was like, we're not going to get Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers, but he's not going to come to Dallas.
He's going to Denver. He's given them. Yesterday he gave them a timetable. He was like, I want to go to Denver. You have this much time to buy me from Green Bay.
And I get it because Denver is a much better city to live in. No offense to everywhere else, but let's face it,
fucking cool. Denver's awesome.
It's beautiful, you know, all the legal weed, like everything is great about that. So I get wanting to go there. But wouldn't it have been funny if he went to the Vikings too, just like Brett Favre? Just like that was what I wanted. And I was like, I know you would have too.
Every Minnesota sports report says it. Like, like even though Aaron Rodgers has publicly said, I'm only probably going to Denver, every Viking sports reporter is like, we are next in line. Like, we believe, regardless of anything, that if he's not going to Denver, he's for sure coming to Minnesota, even though he has pretty much said, I am not.
Yeah, I know. And that's what, at least Dallas was a dynasty. And we've won in all major sports except baseball, which that doesn't matter, but we'll get to that later. But Minnesota, you guys are just a little engine that could.
We haven't won. We haven't won. Actually, we are a dynasty. It's pretty rude of you because our WNBA Minnesota Lynx have won, I think, 4 out of the last 6 years WNBA championships.
No one cares about the WNBA.
When I lived there, I went to like game 3 of the finals and I paid $40 to sit 4 rows above the court.
Well, to be fair, I did pay $40 to see an Arizona Coyotes game, glass seats in Phoenix. So
I did as
Like,
well.
hockey matters to some of us, but
I've told you that story.
Yeah.
Mike Modano dedicated a shot to me and missed it.
oh, Mike Modano, the greatest American hockey player. Patrick Kane can suck it.
I hate Patrick Kane, so you know what? Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I could talk about Mike Modano all day, and it'll probably come up again later. But I forgot to tell the funny story that happened over the weekend about the guy, the son of the guy who did the music, which is my half brother, not the brother with the OnlyTans joke, but he, likes to score things. So he did the music for the lovely intro video we showed like 15 minutes ago, or you heard 15 minutes ago because you'll never see this video. But so he has 2 kids because he's in some ways a more normal functioning human being than me and my little brother. But they wanted to ride with us, and I was driving my mother's brand new car because I had to drop her off at the airport. And so I'm already a little like, I'm going to fuck this up because I just know who I am and my history with cars. And then it's like, oh no, like I'm like, yeah, look at the kids in the car. They're like 8 and 12. Like,
okay,
they're not going to do anything. Yeah. Everything's going great. We're almost to the exit to get to the Thai place we're going to. And then one of them is just like, my nose is bleeding. And then my brother is in the car and he's like, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in. Like, because he's freaking out because we know our mom and we know she's going to murder us. Like, luckily, our older brother, he's, got a different mom. But yeah, so he's not involved. And he was like, hey, they're your problem now when they wanted to ride with us. But yeah, he's like, hold it in. We're almost there. And then it's like, I know, because his dad or half brother had gotten nosebleeds like all his life. It's like, oh my God, this is a disaster. Of all the things that could happen in this little bit of window of us driving to the restaurant, wasn't even that far. But it's like, nope, and his nose is just gushing blood. Luckily, we get to the park really quick, far out, and it's like blood, he just coming out of the car. Like, and luckily, she has leatherette seats, so it's like, okay,
it just wiped
we're getting it up. Like, it wasn't so bad, but it was like all on the side, and it's this pretty bright blue color, and it's like, oh no. And I'm like laughing because it's like, yep, this is like a rom-com. Like, this is what happens in our life. Like, stupid shit like this that couldn't happen. Like, you couldn't have written this in a movie. Like, it was just so ridiculous. And even my little brother's like, okay, when we get there, we'll just tell our other brother that we punched him in the face. And then he's sweet. So he's like, they didn't do anything to me. And I'm like, you leave me alone 5 minutes with the kid. I broke him. Like, he's just gushing blood. Like,
it really sets the pace, though, because then you're like, never leave me alone with the kid.
I'm really good with kids. They don't normally gush blood. Like, I used to babysit a lot. As I say, like, I used to have Mark Cuban's kids at Equinox and a lot of other Dallas athletes. Like, I'm good with kids. Like, I don't normally break them, but it was just really funny because it was a brand new car. I'm already like, oh my God, I'm going to fuck this up. I know it. Like,
you know what? That's how I am with kids. I like to fight kids.
You like to fight kids?
By that I mean like I'm the tap in like uncle wrestle guy. So like anytime any of my friends are like out of town for work, like I'll just go like wrestle their kids.
Which is good because boys need rough and tumble play.
Yeah. My girlfriend,
luckily they have 2 boys. Like,
my girlfriend's a nanny, and the husband went out of town for 3 weeks for work, and they paid me $100 to come over for a couple hours and just give him guy time. Which was like,
time you crack open a root beer, watch some pro wrestling.
Yeah. Which was like, I don't know. I was like, it's cool because I'm cool, but like, it's bad parenting. I've met this kid twice. How much do you trust me to know when he's going to start crying?
And how old is he?
4.
4. Oh, okay.
4-year-olds cry for like a second. Like you drop.
I was like, that's not a big cry, baby.
They flip off the bed and they're like, ah! All right, let's go again.
Oh, kids. They're fun. I don't really understand so much of why our generation hates children and doesn't want them. But let's face it, most of them shouldn't be parents. So it's probably a good thing overall. And we'll have less people and less for the world to take care of. So we don't have a big snack one day.
That is true.
was a Marvel movie reference. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Marvel movie? Have you seen Black Widow?
No, it's one of those things that I could have gone to a theater like most of the time, but it's like once you get out of the habit and then you're like, I could watch Wonder Woman on my TV. I don't have to get out. I don't have to put on pants or anything. I think I'm just going to stay home. And isn't Black Widow on Disney Plus too? But
yeah, you can order it for like $25 or something. I've liked all the Disney Plus shows, all the WandaVision and Loki and Winter Soldier and Falcon. And
I know I've only seen WandaVision and it was good. And I know I've been meaning to watch Loki and Winter Soldier because I love me some Bucky Barnes and that booty. But and then the dog's name is Loki, so obviously we're fans.
Yes,
but it's hard when they have a Law and Order SVU marathon on all the time, and then you just lost in it.
There's never not a Law and Order SVU marathon.
Yeah, that's why it was great for years not having cable. But then immediately when you go back and I have AT&T TV, which it's just like a stream cable. It's really weird, but it works. It was one of the only options to get hockey where I'm at. So, but yeah, it makes me stumble upon SVU. And that was me. I was like, you could have watched it on Netflix and Hulu for the longest time. And I kind of would, if I wanted to go to one of my favorite episodes, which I know, guys, makes me seem like a horrible person, but I do a psychology podcast. That's what my degree's in. I'm fucked up. Yeah. But that's what happens but I'm like, what a weirdo it is when you're like, oh, let me go look up an SVU episode. But if you just stumble upon it and then get lost in it, you're somehow slightly better.
Yeah, you're a better person than being like, let me look up this one because I like how this person is raped and tortured.
Remember on my old podcast, Mrs. Brightside, where I had a game called NFL or SVU? This is how I come up with it.
Remember when I got every question wrong?
I know, and that's what it really says about the game. It really was a hard game because the plots of SVU episodes are very much like TMZ Sports now.
Yeah. Athletes are creep bags. Shout out to Trevor Bauer. Here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah, I know. And I really had the wrong reaction to that news at first. I was just like, no wonder I thought he was hot. Yep, that says something about me. It's just Armie Hammer, where I'm like, I never understood why I was so attracted to Armie Hammer because he's so not what I'm normally into. And then when that stuff started coming out about him being into cannibalism and weird shit, and I'm like, well, that tracks. Yep. Yeah.
You're like, actually, since this, I started. You're like, I never knew who Trevor Bauer was till now. Now I follow him.
No, I don't do that.
You're like, I bought his jersey this week.
Could you imagine if I was like that? And then I'm like, what would you do with the jersey? And then this becomes a whole nother podcast, where I need to sit on the couch. I
have a friend who, Trevor Bauer is an emotional baseball player, also emotional in the bedroom. We all learned, very violent. He's an emotional baseball player, and he came out with a shirt that says legalize emotions and has a baseball diamond on it. And it was really cool. I have a buddy who bought the shirt. Got the shirt it was 3 weeks for it to ship, because athletes don't know how to put out merch. Got the shirt the day before he got kicked out of the
Oh my God.
He was like, check out the Trevor Bauer shirt. And I'm like, sweet. And the next day I was like, fuck that Trevor Bauer shirt. And he's like, what happened? He Googled it. He's like, oh no. He's like, I paid $25 for this. Now I can never wear it.
Would it be wrong to buy this?
It just says legalized emotions too, and has
know.
A baseball diamond on it. So you would have to explain it was a Trevor Bauer shirt.
Yeah, I mean, and on his website, it's $32.69.
That's to cover
again.
The
I have the wrong reaction to things, guys.
This is all to pay for his lawyer. Does it just say that? Is he like, I'm in a little bit of trouble and I need a legal team?
Yeah, and but you can get some knockoff, like, scalper versions of it, like much less money, and they probably don't go to his legal fund, guys. So I don't know here. I'm left with an ethical dilemma because I find this very funny, the whole shirt nonsense, not what he actually did, because it's okay if you consent to those things, like what happens between two adults, but if you did not,
we've all had rough sex, and when I was like, when I read the headline where it was like Trevor Bauer is in trouble for rough sex, and I'm like, I've had tons of rough sex where I've slapped people and choked people, and then I read it and I'm like, oh, there's certain things in here that's where the line is. I can see where he went wrong. No one,
not having a contract like in the movie.
You know what? Here's the deal: no one should leave sex with a black eye unless it was an accident.
Unless they ask for it. I don't know. I mean,
you're like,
but you've got to, this is why contracts are key, guys.
Yeah.
You got to lay that out. And it's just the way that things have to be in those situations. Like,
you know what? In the words of Kobe Bryant, everybody should have people sign contracts like Shaq did. Which is probably the shittiest thing a player ever did to a teammate. When Kobe Bryant came out after his gigantic allegation, and he was like, "Well, Shaq does it too. He just has to contracts." And you're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, it's like
you're not allowed to throw Shaq under the bus. The whole contract thing is so he doesn't get thrown under the bus.
Yeah, bro, talk about breaking the bro code, but we won't speak ill of the dead here, but dude, like, not cool.
I know. I shouldn't say mean things about Kobe in LA. Someone's gonna knock on my door and be like, "You have to die now."
Oh my God! Long before, the tragedy of last year, there was gonna rename a street Kobe Avenue, and God forbid I made a joke about, "Hey, ladies, stay off that street." A female fan got very angry about that. It's like, look, that's in the zeitgeist. Like, you're allowed to joke about that. It's weird when women were defending it, but again, I mean, what was I wasn't defending Trevor Bauer. I was just, saying my piece about this shirt.
Yeah.
Because it makes me laugh.
We're only defending the shirt, you guys.
Well, and
Trevor Bauer should never get to play again. And this is what the city of Los Angeles and the Dodgers get for being like the Yankees and spending too much money on players. Some of them have to go away to jail.
Yeah, all this salary cap nonsense that they talk about in the NHL. It's like MLB, like never having one is why baseball sucks.
That's why the NHL is like so even. It's because they have a cap.
Yeah, which apparently, like, people allege. And speaking of shirts, that players sell? Oh God, let me pull it up just so I don't get it wrong here. But since we're like going way off base, and one of the many things I wanted to talk to you about was my birthday buddy and a favorite of ours, Stephen A. Smith, made some disparaging comments. And I will just say, like speaking of baseball, like, and not being relevant and all the problems with it, I do feel like that's where he was going with it, is that baseball doesn't have like stars like it used to. And probably like when Stephen A was starting out, it's like people like Darryl Strawberry that were like interesting. And I think that in relatable and sort of made names for themselves. And even like, as much as I choke on my own words, like a Jeter or an A-Rod or
Ken Griffey Jr., Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, all the 90s players that were so great. And now we don't really have anybody. We have like Mike Trout. Damn it. They're from the same team. I would say Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Is that how you say his name? Ohtani? I don't know how to say his name, and he's so goddamn good. He's so good. Yeah. I hate Angels Stadium. I've been to one Angels game, and it was just suburban moms yelling at their kids. The whole stadium is full of them. It's like one mom for 8 kids, and that's all that's in the stadium, and they're all yelling. It's shit-ass stadium. It's a shit-ass place to watch baseball, but I am going to buy a ticket this year to see Ohtani hit home runs and pitch, because I feel like I don't know. It's one of those things where you don't want to miss out on watching history.
Yeah, like, and it's one of those things that, especially coming from LA, it's like that drive to Anaheim like sex balls. Like,
Yeah.
driving on the 5. Like, if you're not going to go to Disneyland, like, there is no point. Because I went to, like, luckily it was like the Stars' first playoff game in years. Like, and I was there, and I drove to Anaheim to see us lose. But yeah, like, their stadiums suck. Like, Angel Stadium is great when you're going to like a convention at Anaheim, like the Natural Products Expo, and you're parking there for free, like, instead of paying out the ass. Like that's great. Or one time I was working like the Sam Adams Beer Fest there, pretty great. But as far as to see baseball sucks as it is. But yeah, like you, Mike Trout, I know who Mike Trout is, but that's because I'm like a little bit more in tune with sports. But yeah, considering he's one of the greatest players too, nobody gives a shit about what to be the Anaheim Angels. Like, and that's what I still call them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not the LA Angels like they like to be. The LA Angels of Anaheim or whatever their official name is. No one cares. No one in LA cares. Everybody in LA is Dodger fans.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, why bother calling them the LA Angels when they're not in LA? It's at least an hour drive, and that's with no traffic. And then it's just like, you know, I get no one knows what Anaheim is, but you left the Ducks that way because of Mighty Ducks.
And that's great.
The baseball team?
I love that the Ducks,
even though I hate that team.
I like that the Ducks are like, we're not an LA team at all. We're an Anaheim team. And it's like, you know what? Rep it, because no one from LA is coming to see you. Same thing with the Angels. No one from LA is coming to see you, except for now because of Shohei Ohtani. And you know what? Stephen A. Smith did make some really fucked up. I can swear on this, right?
Oh yeah. Did you not hear me over and over already?
Well, what was it? What was it though? Because he was like, he's like, American-born athletes are the only ones who should represent baseball. And then this All-Star game, it was like an Australian won MVP. A Dominican won like player of the game, and then Ohtani was the winning pitcher, and he's from Japan.
Well, yeah, and it's like, you know, baseball's always been diverse, so I'm not really sure what he was talking about there, where like this is new, because yeah, like you say, I mean they go to the Dominican to recruit baseball players because they have such good programs there. Like, and we've had a lot of good players from Japan. But yeah. He was like, but when you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube or to the ballpark to actually watch you, I don't think it helps that our number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter. Or I should be doing my Stephen A. Smith voice, but then I'll be considered racist by some people, I'm sure. But it's like, let me try. Let me try this again. But when you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube or to the baseball park to actually watch you, I don't think it helps that the number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter so you can understand what the hell he's saying in this country. How'd I do there?
That was great. It was less of like a you being racist for being like pretending that you're an African American, and just the words you said were completely racist.
Oh yeah, and that's me. I was like, guys, I'm doing full on Stephen A. Like,
I think Stephen A. has completely transcended his own race into racism and just went straight American racist. Yeah, like transcending the color and more of him representing us as a nation of racists with saying this. He has really broken ground as a racist reporter. And I think his probably Southern viewership has gone up since then. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people in like Arkansas and the gross parts of Georgia who are like, you know what? Wasn't a fan of Stephen A. Smith, but now he's saying what I'm thinking.
You're like, oh my God, you know, we really are all alike. Well, that was wrong.
There's probably thousands of white rednecks who are like, you know what? That black guy's saying something. He gets it. He gets it.
I know, and it's just like Stephen A., my birthday buddy, and Brick on General Hospital. I really do love your portrayal, even though you've always shit on my Cowboys, and you know,
he hates the Cowboys. And
I know it's hilarious.
You know who he does love, who we talked about earlier, is not Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah,
Stephen A. loves Aaron Rodgers. He has made countless arguments.
White and American.
Aaron Rodgers never need an interpreter. Just saying. But I've watched Stephen A. for years be like, if Aaron Rodgers was quarterbacking for the New England Patriots, wouldn't have lost those 2 Super Bowls and would have made the other Super Bowls from the times the New England. According to Stephen A., if Aaron Rodgers would have played for those Patriots, he would have 55 Super Bowl rings.
You know, it's like, Stephen A., this is why maybe you should take something from Otana, because he's probably better at math than you.
Probably, yeah.
See, sometimes we can bring it all back around and make jokes. But it's like, it's so hard to defend Stephen here. I'll just say, it's like, dude, no one can defend your comments, but I do feel like some of it was saying like baseball isn't appealing to Americans, which is what I was saying. So it's not that I don't disagree that baseball has a problem, but like we say, Mike Trout is white. It's just that no one cares about the Angels. No. It has nothing to do with him being Japanese, dude.
No, it's because you play for the second tier team in a large city. It's the same thing if there was a Clippers, like Kawhi Leonard plays for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is regarded as like probably the 3rd, 4th best basketball player in the league. No one gives a shit. No one cares at all. He's a great player on a shit team.
I know, and the Clippers have had so many chances to like.
I know this year
good teams like where it's like, and I'm like, I so want to root for the Clippers, even though I love Jeannie Buss and I love what she's done for the Lakers. It's just hard for me sometimes to cheer for the Lakers, but with the Clippers, it's like, no, I can get behind you guys. And then it's like, you know, I'm sorry, I have to defend my Dallas teams for sucking and always ripping the rug out from under me. The LA teams, I can't do that for you guys. Like, even though you're home, there's just there's just something in the blood for the Dallas teams.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't root for the Clippers. Sorry, Kawhi Leonard.
Although it's like, I do like the Sports Illustrated article that was on Stephen A. Smith's apologies and everything, which, bless his heart, it's like that I felt the need, felt that I had to apologize. It's like, dude, like, just anybody vetting this shit, like, and that's the thing is like ESPN released this, like, people don't understand in the industry. It's very hard to get shit out there that you don't really want out there. So are they like Wendy Williamsing him, and where they're just throwing him under the bus, like at this point, like
where they're like
nobody cares, yeah.
They're letting him bury himself so they don't got to pay him all that money.
Yeah, I do feel like that may be where they're going there. But I did find talking about hockey again, guys. Star Nikita Kucherov was trolling haters with his shirt. I love athletes, and even mayors are getting into governors are getting into the merch with DeSantis getting one too. But so Kucherov made shirts that say 18 million over the cap because everyone keeps accusing them of having that and why they've won the past 2 years. So in case you guys weren't aware, the Tampa Bay Lightning has won the Stanley Cup. The Florida team, Florida really, speaking of Ron DeSantis, really swept the sports, except MLB, but even the Rays went pretty far.
Yeah. I hate the nickname, but you have to give it where it's due. Champa Bay, baby. Champa Bay. Gosh, that Stanley Cup was boring to watch.
I know. And
Montreal's only win was in overtime.
Yeah. And to the point where we were like, they're not going to win. We just turned it off, but I kept putting it on my phone, and where it was like, because it was devastating, because I love Carey Price since the beginning. I've always wanted him to succeed. I really hate that Montreal's just not the dynasty they once were, even though, I'm a Stars fan first. They've always been a team with him that I could cheer for. And even though Corey Perry was on there, it's like I had to deal with that with my own team. But the fact that Corey Perry has gotten to the finals, that's way worse than Tampa Bay winning the last year. Is
him getting to the finals again and still not winning?
I mean, it's good that he didn't win, but it's sad that Carey Price also didn't win.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just, and for you guys, Corey Perry was a longtime Anaheim Duck and a real douchebag.
Yeah, he's a real guy. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit. Piece of shit player.
It's just fun that a place where they have no hockey is just so dominant.
Oh, I know. But that's Steven Stamkos, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the greatest. And I'm really happy for him because he's earned this. Fuck Crosby.
I was happy the first time. I was happy the
Yeah.
first time he got his ring. The second time, I'm like, nah. It's the same thing with Ovechkin. I'm like, he got one. You can just die now.
Yeah.
I want every great player that I like to get one and then be done.
Yeah, but it was like, couldn't we have switched it though? It's like Stamkos wins this one, but the Stars won last year. Even though it would have given Corey Perry another ring, it would have been like, hey, we're relevant. We're still relevant. Like,
I think that's the last time me and you talked was right after the Stars did lose the Stanley Cup, and I called you just to make sure
devastated.
Just to call and make sure you were still alive.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of drinking. A little bit of crying.
How many people personally blamed you? I know you've been personally blamed at times for Dallas Stars losses.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily, like, they were in Canada, so none of that's my fault. Like,
okay.
Like, they were in Canada, like, far away from me. So, but yeah, you are correct.
You have been blamed. You have been personally blamed for some stuff.
The 2011 playoffs that we did not make it to. Sorry, guys. For those 2% of hockey fans out there that give a shit and even know who the Dallas Stars are, that was my bad. I'm sorry, but
you know what? If you guys are wondering, they are previously the Minnesota North Stars.
Speaking of, I didn't even put this in here because even I forgot, because that's how irrelevant the Minnesota team you have now is. The Wild.
You mean that the Wild had a 2-0 lead on Vegas going into Minnesota and still lost the series?
I know, and I'm a Knights fan. I do love going to Vegas, and I know you do too. I hate the arena. Like, T-Mobile sucks, but I love how like enthusiastic they are. Like, about the
arena isn't fun to watch hockey in, but there's a lot of TVs in there, and the crowd loves it. So
the pageantry of it, like, if you've seen the full-on opening there, like, that is like if you're going to medieval times, but you're like, holy shit, I'm at a hockey game.
Watching the game from your seats sucks at T-Mobile Arena, but being in the stadium and stuff is a blast. It's so fun. The games are exciting. You just have to watch hockey there. That's the only problem. Is like if they would have changed how the seats are set up to make it more of a hockey arena, that would be great. But they didn't do that.
Yeah, it's really a poor design, but they literally just did everything that's in the Staples Center here, only cheaper and worse seating. Like, because it's like, okay. And then all the production is almost copied verbatim from the Stars, except for the lovely medieval times. Like, the Sharks opening is pretty cool.
They're shooting the bow and arrows at the ice and the ice cracking and there to the night. And there's a horse.
Oh, yeah. Like, they did some real pageantry. I was impressed. But it's not about the Knights. It's unfortunately about the Wild. Like, buying out Suter and Parise. Like, I mean, they didn't produce there, but who does?
Nobody. And this is the thing with Minnesota sports, and I've talked about it on your other podcasts. I've talked about it with everybody I know to nauseam. Minnesota as a city loves hometown pride because nobody's from there. We love Josh Hartnett. We think he deserves 11 more Oscars for 40 Days and 40 Nights. And
but what about the better Josh? Isn't Josh Duhamel from there?
Josh Duhamel is from North Dakota.
Yeah, but he's a Vikings fan, I guess.
He's a Viking. Yeah, he's a Minnesota sports fan. I don't know why. If you're from North Dakota, you get to pick someone that wins.
All right. Well, I guess it's good for me, Josh. Yeah. Like, you like the not so great. Yeah.
So because Suter and Parise's dads are from there, they got $100 million 10-year contracts each, which fucked the team for 10 years because that's our whole budget for two guys that were good for 3 seasons 5 years ago. Now we got to let that ride out for 2 more years.
Yeah, because I remember like being pissed when Parise left the Devils because I was after the Stars, I'd go for the Devils because a lot of the Stars players would wind up there, like Neuendijk and the original Jamie Langenbrenner.
Yeah.
But yeah, because let's face it, we've lost all the listeners at this point. We'll just talk old school hockey and how much it matters. But yeah, Parise, I was just like, fucking traitor. And then he was dead to me. And then apparently he was just dead to hockey. Yep. Like, it's like, yeah. I want to go home to Minnesota. Like, yeah.
He stopped being good after, and I'm sorry for breaking this up, but after JP died. After JP Parisi died, he was like, well, my dad's dead, so I don't have to play hockey anymore. Good.
Yep. Sometimes when you don't have to impress your dad anymore, you just fade away, like in the hockey world.
That's why I stopped playing hockey when I was 5, when my parents got divorced and I stopped seeing my dad. I was like, oh, I'm going to be good at hockey anymore? Cool.
Yeah. Comedy, I also thought was a more lucrative career than hockey, or at least being a hockey wife. So far, not.
So far, it has not. It hasn't worked out how you thought it was going to?
No, who knew? But, one day we still have hope. I mean, this is a positive psychology podcast.
You know what? You could go back to being, as they call it, a puck slut anytime you want.
It's true. It is always out there.
It is. Hockey players are dirtbags, and you're a great gal. So
yeah. Well, and they quietly, as Adam Carolla always puts it, get the most pussy, because people forget. Like, a lot of people see hockey and they're like, "Oh, just a bunch of toothless Russians." Oh no, sir. They are beautiful people, or there's quite a few. I mean, you think about some real major hotties, like that Jaromir Jagr. I mean, that hair.
I have a Jaromir Jagr rookie card, and you know what? Just wanted to brag about that. Also, I have a cousin who fucked Nino Niederreiter for like half a season. She was in his roster, and my uncle, her dad, who I watch hockey with, who I would go over there. He's kind of like a dad to me for a little while. I'd go there and watch sports. He couldn't have been prouder.
Yeah,
he was like, you know what? He's like, my daughter's young. She's a good-looking girl. He's like, he got me a jersey. I can't be mad.
I know my dad was very proud of me, even when I cost us the playoffs.
You know what? Sometimes a dad just has to be proud that daughters are going to hook up. Quit acting like they're not. So it's cool that they're hooking up with some of your favorite athletes and can get you a jersey.
And to be fair, my dad was a strip club DJ, so the standards were not very high.
Yeah, he was he's like, what? Pro? Not even D League? My baby girl's making something of herself.
Yep. Oh, dads.
My uncle would say, he would always call it dating or whatever.
Or whatever. Yep.
He would always go, she's dating him or whatever. Young kids. Young kids. He's like,
that's him trying not to slut shame his daughter, but like being real proud.
He'd go, come on, man. Look at Nino. He's had 4 goals in the last 5 games. He's a stud. Yeah. He's not going to put her on his Instagram, but she hangs out with him.
I know, and I'm like I'm imagining my dad, and it's like, what was probably a more proud moment, that or whenever I took him to the Thanksgiving game with the Cowboys? I think it'd be like a pretty even tie. Like,
it's as a dad, all you can hope for
is to go to the Thanksgiving game for the Cowboys now.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. But in conclusion with this hockey talk, as we've lost most of everyone. The listenership, like, I'm sure. But Carolla was putting it like, suck it, Canada. Like, I mean, wasn't it the COVID battle? Like, to see Canada, who's still on lockdown, like they re-locked down, it's lose to Florida again. It's like, this really isn't good for the optics. Let's face it. Florida won. I mean, I'm sure none of the players on the Tampa Bay Lightning are from Florida. You occasionally see people from Dallas because, they put a lot into the North Texas hockey. Yeah. But like, hockey really only comes from a few places in America, but mostly Canada and Russia. But it is true, interesting irony that maybe Florida was right. They've really done well in sports, and what else really matters? Because it's certainly not baseball.
No, you guys, baseball doesn't matter. Ask Stephen A. Smith. There's too many foreigners playing it.
It's like, even in like, football might be the only sport where it is majority American at this point, because basketball has but they're pretty half and half. I mean, you look at the Greek Freak. I mean,
Giannis speaks no English. And Stephen A. Smith has never brought up how hard he is to listen to in a press conference. And I've listened to many press conferences from him. They are annoying. And this is very insensitive what I just said. I'm sorry, listening public. But he doesn't use a translator. He kind of should. But I get it. He's trying to learn English. He's really pushing himself. And that's great. But his words get all jumbled. He's all jumbled. And I also don't care what players who speak full-blown English say in a press conference, because they're not speaking for themselves. Their sponsors are telling them what to say.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing is, like, as much as I love sports, the more and more it's been politicized. It was the great escape into a true meritocracy. Like, the best man really did win, except in baseball, as we discussed, because they stacked the teams without the salary cap. Again, why it sucks and why no one cares anymore. But also there's the fact that people aren't even allowed to speak up. You look at the Houston Rockets general manager. I mean, he was pretty well chastised for speaking out against China. And I mean, since no one's listening anymore, I mean, what they were doing in Hong Kong and still doing, I mean, since it was obviously a Wuhan lab leak, I mean, even Jon Stewart is like, it was science that did this, guys. Like, get over it. Like, but also, no one's allowed to say these things because it's like the sponsors.
The Rocket guy was speaking out against slave labor.
Exactly. I mean, they are beating these people just for being from Hong Kong.
I think we can all agree. Yeah. Slave labor and beating people who work for you, kind of a bad thing. Like we mentioned, Trevor Bauer, not allowed to do it. And then LeBron James came out, and because Space Jam is not going to do great here, but in China it'll make hundreds of millions of dollars, he was like, China ain't all that bad. And it's like, you do not believe that. You can't wear, I can't breathe t-shirts in America and talk out against like the problems we have here and then go back a country that's doing it. If it's not for hundreds of millions of dollars put into your pocket to do it.
Yeah, it was Ricky Gervais that was like, yeah, it doesn't, like, all of you love to speak out because you can here, but you would work for ISIS network. I mean, if they paid you enough. And that's essentially what they're doing now. I mean, like, for all this crap the NFL is getting and the owners colluding again, since that's their new word, about, getting out of St. Louis, it's like St. Louis has the highest crime rate. They're up there with Brazil and Colombia, like in this country. So, yeah, fuck, they wanted to move to LA, which ain't great, but it's a hell of a lot better there. I mean, in LeBron, I always respected what he gave back to his community in Cleveland. But, yeah, he went to LA and he wants to get a paycheck. I wish more people had integrity. Yeah. I mean, Mark Cuban's basically been shamed into shutting up. Like, and that's what sucks is like these people who have money, they don't want to lose it. And I don't blame them, but it's like, to like just maybe stop talking because they're threatening you is one thing, but to speak out on behalf of them, like LeBron and other people have been doing, it's like, guys, like, no, like,
yeah, LeBron speaking out in lieu of China is like basically backpedaling everything he's done great in America. It's like, remember all the things we like you for here? That one tweet where you're like, China isn't that bad. It's like, do we really believe now you're doing great things here? Or are you also getting paid to do the cool things?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
also, if anybody wants to pay me to say anything pro or for anything, that kind of money that LeBron's getting paid, I will.
Yeah,
I will speak out against electric cars. I will speak out for fracking. I don't know quite what fracking is, but I know it's bad. But if you're a fracking company, you're like, we need Josh Florog to say
in
fracking.
In reality, fracking's not that bad. Like, it's got a bad rep, but it is often necessary. Like, yeah. I don't know like tons about it, but I do know that it gets a bad rap. But it's sort of like meat in this day. Oh, you don't want to eat meat, even though meat's actually good for you. Like all these fake meats, like I feel like we're getting towards like Soylent Green territory, but I don't want to get too much into my paranoia, but
we're on our way to eating people, but it's coming around.
Yeah. Army Hammer, I guess, is ahead of the curve on that.
You know what? This is all coming back full circle.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hold on, here's the perfect endpoint. Army Hammer is at the forefront of this cannibalist movement that we're headed towards. But yeah, I feel like we've talked about everything. We
have.
Yeah.
You guys, sports.
So, since we can't fix the world in sports, but we can certainly talk about it on a podcast and give our real thoughts, since we don't really have careers to ruin, but we do have social media accounts. So
Yes.
if you've listened this far, like that one hockey fan, where can they find you, Josh?
You can find me on everything at Josh F Comedy. So all your social media platforms, my climbing trees and nudity will be on OnlyFans one day. Just keep watching out for it. And then joshfcomedy.com. I have some dates. I will be recording for Laugh After Dark on Amazon Prime Season 3, August 7th in Las Vegas. So come check it out. Or when Season 3 of Laugh After Dark comes out, when you have Amazon Prime, I'll be on it.
Cool. And since I'm Lucretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
Take me outside. How about that?